What is that? A dream of Genie?
I don't know.
Neither do I. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
So let's put some energy back in this thing.
Okay.
Let's do it.
We have to talk about the playoffs. Okay, yes, there are playoffs that are happening. There's divisional round games happening this coming weekend.
It should be really fun.
It's very exciting. We're going to have a team that's not New England in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So someone new gets a chance.
Yeah.
Finally.
You said so. You won your fantasy, and
I did. By the way, I didn't mention this last week. I won my league for the second year in a row.
It's very exciting.
Yes.
And as a prize, you get to pick a jersey.
I do, and I still don't know which one I should pick.
Okay.
So I'm going back and forth between a couple of options.
Well, you said before the show that you didn't want to do Patriots, but I think it would be.
I'm just so embarrassed by them right now.
But also, it's a good opportunity to get this is your commit to a team and ride that through the playoffs. You know that can always be really fun.
Yeah. So Lamar Jackson won me my league, basically. Right. Well, that's not technically true. Jared Goff actually won me my league. Believe it or not.
How?
Lamar didn't play week 17.
Oh.
So your boy needed a quarterback.
Right.
I only carry one quarterback because it's Lamar.
Right.
So I just picked up Jared Goff on a whim, and the dude had 25 points. He had 3 touchdown passes against Arizona.
There you go.
So he and Damian Williams for Kansas City put me over the top.
Cool.
That's how I won.
But so are you thinking about this in the sense of like players who hooked you up this year, or do you want to think about it in the more futuristic sense, a jersey that you can see yourself wearing for another few years?
Well, I mean, if it's going to be a jersey I see myself wearing, I don't see myself wearing another team's jersey.
That's fair.
Religiously.
Fair.
That's a bit of a stretch for me.
Fair.
I was thinking about a red Patriots jersey, and then they lost to Tennessee, and I'm just I'm mad at them right now. But I don't know. It could be a Lamar Jackson jersey just because he won me my league, and also I can cheer for him without any kind of guilt now.
Right.
I don't know. It could be... Who else played on my team? It's not an Odell Beckham jersey, that's for sure. Maybe an Andrew Luck jersey, because I did draft him. And just the fact that I was able to still win my league even without my top quarterback was pretty cool.
That's a great legacy jersey to have too.
Right?
You know?
Right, though?
Yeah.
It's cool.
But I wanna look at these future games that we have here.
Really quick, if anybody has any suggestions, shoot us an email. You can find us at andrewincata@gmail.com or tweet at us or message us, DM us on all of our social media.
Slide in those DMs.
That's right.
Babies.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The handle is at UFR Vodcast. Let me know. Taking suggestions.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. So looking ahead now, Lamar is in the playoffs. There's a bunch of great players in the playoffs here, but we saw some interesting stuff this weekend beyond just the Patriots, just being totally overcome in the final minutes of this game against the Tennessee Titans. The Texans defeated the Bills, and that took out my Super Bowl pick.
Okay.
And then also the Vikings defeated the Saints. There were a lot of just strange upsets, things that I didn't...
Saints were my pick, by the way.
And the Saints were Andrew's pick. There were a lot of strange upsets that I didn't anticipate. Whose victory do you think was the most impressive?
Houston's, for sure. Oh my God.
Really?
Overcoming a 16-point lead. Buffalo was on fire, and then when Deshaun Watson ran in that touchdown to cut the lead to 8, all the momentum turned.
Right.
Especially even tying back the sack that J.J. Watt had on third down to get Josh Allen. Josh Allen, oh boy, his game is a roller coaster.
I like him.
That goes into a car crash.
Yeah.
Because did you see that play toward the end of the game where he's running down the field and he's got a 50-yard gain and then he just inexplicably tosses the ball up in the air to toss it back to the player behind him?
Yeah.
That was strange. I think that's a microcosm of how Josh Allen's playoff game went.
That's a really interesting, distillation, distillery, Yeah, that's Josh Allen. Josh Allen. That's fair. I mean, I like the risky and the fun and I think...
Yeah, but have a little bit of sense is what I'm saying.
That's true. But I thought both teams had a really good game.
I do. I thought it was one of the two most interesting games that were there. Right. But yeah, Houston coming back from 16 down to win in overtime was the most impressive victory in my opinion. Okay. How about you?
The other overtime game.
Really?
I actually thought that the Vikings defeating the Saints was extremely impressive.
Okay.
It was pretty close for a little bit, and then it wasn't close, and then...
They did blow a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. it happened. But they caught up, and then honestly, it's hard to call it the most impressive because once again, the Saints got screwed. There was a no call in the end zone when Kyle Rudolph grabbed the ball, and
it wasn't a no call.
Okay, it wasn't no call.
So at the end of the game, Kirk Cousins threw a pass to Kyle Rudolph, who caught it, and the video replay showed that he pushed off, which he made some contact.
It would have been offensive pass interference.
Right. The referees got together, or the officiating committee in New York after the game got together and said that there was contact, but, quote, not enough for a flag to be thrown.
All right, well.
So it's a questionable call, but fun fact, the Saints are now, I think, the only team in NFL history to lose on the last play of the game in 3 straight years.
Yeah.
To be eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It is wild. That said, I really was rooting for the Saints to win this game, and I think they absolutely should have. But the way that the Vikings came back, I mean, again, it's another one of those, like, I never saw them going this far in the season. And here they are. They had some great plays, I thought.
Forcing that fumble on Drew Brees in the fourth quarter.
Oh, my gosh. Crazy. Yeah, that was
also,
awesome.
Drew Brees needs to just hang on to the ball.
Right.
But, what can you do?
But that final play, too, the game-winning play with Cousins to Rudolph, great play.
Or the play before it where he hit Thielen for like 50 yards.
Right. What I loved about this game, too, was that the Vikings were able to do this despite all of the Sean Payton offense that we saw in the Saints. Like, oh my God. Like, we saw the amazingness that was...
Taysom Hill.
I
saw a meme that said, Saints, which position do you play? Taysom Hill. Yes.
I posted that actually on my Instagram, and Mike...
Oh, I screen capped it, that's why.
Yeah, no. It was so great. I posted that on my Instagram, and everyone obviously was like cheering and whatever. This was like mid-game, and Mike Rose had the best response. His response was the quarterback, kicker, top.
Cute.
Very cute. Anyways, but I did think that the Vikings were very, very impressive in that victory. So that's my pick.
Okay.
Another question that we have is now that we have our finalists for these AFC and NFC championships, and
yep.
Yeah, and the wild cards are there. I mean, and it's an interesting selection of wild cards. Like, which of those wildcard teams is most likely to take it to the end?
I'm maybe not to the end, but definitely to beat their divisional opponent. Is the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, I agree
for sure. I just I'll get to Green Bay in a minute, but I just think that Seattle has found a rhythm on offense, and their defense is playing well. We saw the playoff arrival of DK Metcalf.
Who my
went
God!
Off during their game against the Eagles.
What a show!
The dude's a freak of nature. And just by matchups alone, I don't see Houston beating Kansas City. I don't see Tennessee beating Baltimore. And I don't see Minnesota beating San Francisco. So that leaves Seattle beating Green Bay. And I think that they can.
I think that they can too. I 100% agree. I think that I think that that's kind of my answer too. I think that as far as the wild cards are concerned, though I don't want to discount the Texans. I think that
Texans, for me, Houston is probably the second best contender to win their divisional game.
Sure. I think that we've seen the Texans do some crazy shit, and the Chiefs' luck has to run out at some point.
True.
I mean,
speaking of luck, which divisional team is the fakest out of the 4?
Ooh.
Which divisional team is gonna? Do you think is most likely to lose?
I think we're gonna have the same one here.
Probably.
I think it's Green Bay.
I agree. I think it's Green Bay. I think Green Bay's fake AF.
Yeah.
They're fake AF. They're 13-3, but like their offense is Aaron Jones, and that's it.
The Green Bay doing as well as getting as far as they have this year is very comparable to, and this might sound contradictory to something that I've said on this podcast before, but it's very contradictory to the Eagles having gotten as far as they did.
Sure.
And it's, I'm sorry, not contradictory, complementary, because they won out in divisions that were all pretty evenly matched, although Green Bay's division was pretty good, and the Eagles in the NFC East suck. Right. So it's that kind of a thing for me. I don't really know why they're here. They kind of just look like the odd kid out. I know you said that you could see them going to the Super Bowl, but I think playing Seattle, I don't think they have a shot right now.
Okay, yeah. They're kind of the anti-Chargers a little bit.
Sure.
They're 6-1
Okay.
in games decided by 7 points or fewer. So a lot of their games have been decided by one possession. And just like the Chargers lost all of their games decided by one possession, Green Bay has won all of their games decided by one possession.
That's very
But
interesting.
again, Seattle's defense, especially the linebackers, Bobby Wagner's a force.
Mm-hmm.
If he and that defense can shut down Aaron Jones, the Packers are screwed.
Yeah.
Even if they do play at home.
Yeah.
I also want to throw out there the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
Because they're kind of the same way. Mm-hmm. They've kind of been getting by on luck the last couple of weeks.
Exactly.
Their last 3 games were all decided by one possession as well. Mm-hmm. They almost lost all 3 of them. And I feel like their luck has to run out at some point.
Yeah.
No,
I completely
I feel like
agree
they've
with you.
been too lucky for too long. The Vikings defense is playing well. They'll use this momentum from upsetting a really good team at home to go into San Francisco and beat them as well. Now, I'm not predicting. This is not like official predictions that Minnesota's going to beat San Francisco. I just think that I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
Okay.
For San Francisco to find a way to lose the game.
I don't disagree with you in a sense, but also it's just a little too far-fetched for me to believe that the Vikings could possibly beat San Francisco.
Sure.
So
it is not impossible.
It is not impossible.
6 seeds have won the Super Bowl before.
Right. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's going to be a really interesting weekend. I think it's not going to be as interesting as this weekend. I don't think we're going to see what we saw before with all these extra, all these overtimes and whatnot. But I think it could be. It could. We've got some interesting matchups in here and some pretty even ones too. I'm very, very nervous for the Titans who have to go and play the Ravens.
The Titans?
Yeah, that's not going to be fun to watch.
No, that defense for Baltimore is really good, and they're just getting better. Mm-hmm. And if they can shut down Derrick Henry, mm-hmm. all they've got to worry about is A.J. Brown.
Right.
And the Titans are sunk. Also,
right.
Ryan Tannehill's not a AFC Championship quarterback.
No, I agree.
It's just not. I
think that's the only game that I feel like I'm going to do a lot of wincing during. In the sense of this is just not fair.
Excuse me.
Of course. In the sense that it's just not fair to these poor Titans.
I'd like to report a murder.
Yes.
That kind of thing.
That kind of thing. Okay. Exactly.
I think the game will be closer than you think it is, but yes.
But we'll see. We'll absolutely see. So now we have this big question, of course, with both of our Super Bowl picks having been eliminated. Who you got?
I have Baltimore. It's got to be Baltimore.
Okay.
They are the hottest team in the NFL right now. They have ways that they can beat you, not just on the ground, but through the air. But the thing is that their quarterback can do both. Mm-hmm. And I think that if Jackson remains hot and Mark Ingram remains hot, and the defense remains hot, they're just going to roll over some teams. I just think that they're too good. Okay. I really do. They've beaten Kansas City before. They'll probably beat Tennessee. They have the potential. They've beaten San Francisco before. They're going to beat Green Bay if they have to beat them. Them against Seattle might be fun. But Baltimore is the best team in the NFL right now. How about you?
So the thing about the Ravens is... Give me just 1 second. I'm looking something up. Okay, sorry. The thing about the Ravens is that they are... Yes, obviously they're up there. I don't disagree with you. I think that if there is... Of all of these AFC teams going, heading and making this contention towards the Super Bowl, they're the most likely to make it there. But I'm not quitting on these Seattle Seahawks, man. Okay. I just can't, particularly after what we saw on Sunday. That game was spectacular in every sense of the word. It was, again, they kind of had it a little bit easy. Carson Wentz went out in the first quarter. I hope he's okay, obviously. But the rest of the game was spent with Josh McCown and Doug Peterson trying to manage this game with a quarterback who doesn't even practice regularly with them because he lives in North Carolina. They were not prepared for this situation, and therefore their playbook was significantly more limited. That said, they put up a pretty good fight with Josh McCown and the rest of their third and fourth string offense. The defense was vicious, and Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf and all of, I mean, God, Tyler Lockett, everyone was contributing. Everyone came in and pulled together and pulled out this really stellar win that I think has given them a serious momentum to keep going.
I just want to tie back to your point about the third and fourth string offense. So they weren't, when you mentioned last week that Doug Peterson's a better coach than
I knew we were going to do this.
Because he played his third and fourth string players. That wasn't by choice.
Oh, I'm aware.
No, I'm asking you. That was not by choice. Keep in mind, I don't actively watch the Philadelphia Eagles, nor do I actively watch the New York Giants.
No.
That was not by choice. That's because everybody's injured.
Right.
Oh, so he had to play them in this wild card game.
Exactly.
That's hilarious. Okay.
That's the thing. But he made do with what he had.
Right. You know.
That was where that argument was coming from last week.
Got it.
But I think, and I think they still, I watched this game with Mike Rose yesterday, and it was painful. At one point, we thought that Mike Rose was going to have to get on a helicopter to Philadelphia and play the game. It was a really hard thing to watch, but I think considering what they had and considering, I mean, and also, by the way, Josh McCown's first ever playoff game.
At 40 years old.
At 40 years old after 17 years in the NFL.
We had 3 of the oldest quarterbacks ever play in playoff games over the weekend.
Yeah.
Brady, Breeze, and McCown.
Yep.
Crazy.
And they're all done.
They're all going to die.
They're all done for the year.
Die for the year. Yep.
But that's no. God.
No, they're all done for the year.
Why are you like this?
Because you just keep putting morbid thoughts in my head, and that's kind of the day that I'm having.
All right. Well, anyways, I'm just not quitting on these Seahawks. I'm riding the Seahawks until the cows come home. Hopefully, I mean, we'll see how it goes with Green Bay this week. But
very good.
It's very exciting.
Cool. Baltimore against Seattle, perhaps.
Ooh, wouldn't that be fun?
A
bird fight.
Fight.
Wait, I have to bring this up. I'm sorry. I texted you like mid game yesterday because they put up this graphic.
Graphics, that's right.
Oh my God. All right, I always have to share these with them when I see you guys. I hope you guys caught it yourselves during the game yesterday. But when you think about the sheer amount of money that they spend on these graphics,
this is NBC, by the way, and they like to do stupid shit like this.
They did. Wait, I need the actual stat. They did because obviously it was a bird fight, and that's like kind of funny. By the way, way too many teams in the NFL who have bird mascots. All right, this is the dumbest stat of the week.
I asked you that question on trivia, and you couldn't get any. You got 5 of them out of the 6.
I know.
There's only 6.
Relax. The dumbest stat of the week: birds versus birds. In the past 10 playoff games, this is excluding yesterday, between teams with a bird mascot, the home team's record is 10-0.
Wow.
They made expensive ass CGI bird graphics to illustrate the dumbest stat I think I have ever heard in my entire life. I am so angry.
Okay, Dick Ebersol. We'll put in we have letters coming to you. God is upset at the graphics.
I'm very upset.
So, yeah.
Let's take a break.
Okay, sounds good. When we come back, you're going to try to turn me on to some bullshit I'm never going to watch on TV.
Oh, I'm so excited, you guys!
Okay, we'll be right back.